Who's going first?
I'll go. What's it been like as you guys prepare for this game, watching tape of the Super Bowl? Is it tough to just watch it for what it is?
We've seen it a lot at this point. I think it's whenever you watch it, there's plays that you want back and things that were there that weren't capitalized on, which is frustrating. But all in all, didn't work out. No sense on, you know, dreading on it or looking back at it any other way. We had an opportunity to win the game and just didn't get it done. We're more just focused on this one. They're a much different team right now. Defense is playing unbelievable football. Their offense always does with the playmakers that they have, the quarterback they have, and Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. But I think the thing that really stands out that's drastically different is their defense is playing really, really good football right now. They play well as a unit. They have great players. Spagnuolo played against them a lot, and he's doing some really, really good things right now for them. So we're very much trying to prepare for this game.
This is among the most in the NFL historically, and this
Yeah.
year. Jalen, in terms of the numbers, is better. You guys are better against the blitz this year.
That's good. All right.
What would you say? What would you attribute that to?
That we're better against the blitz? I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that go into to those statistics. I don't know that we're schematically doing anything that's that much better or that we're executing better. I'd have to answer that honestly, I'd have to really dive in and dig and find out maybe why we've done better. Obviously, as Jalen gets reps, he's going to continue to get better across the board. But I don't know that I could answer that honestly.
Nick was talking about how you could use the Super Bowl as a good motivation, or if it's not, just leave it behind.
I prefer not to even
use it.
Nope.
So how long?
It's not the same game. I mean, I'm motivated to win the game. I don't need the Super Bowl to motivate me to beat my brother or Andy Reid. And I've never beat them in my career. I'm more motivated maybe by that. But I don't buy into Super Bowl revenge games or each season is different. This team is not the same. That team is not the same. Nothing that goes out there and happens on Monday night is going to at all change or make anything different about what happened last year.
Are there parts that were lasting lessons, though, leading into the season at least?
Yeah, I mean, you learn from every game. There's certainly things that we take away from that one that, we're better moving forward from. But that's every game. Every game you should be learning something. You should be making corrections. You should be making sure that things don't happen. You don't have repeated mistakes, or you don't, you approach it differently maybe the next time around. And I think that, that game's no different.
What's most different about their defense?
I think that they are really, really good as a unit. I think that they've had good personnel. They still have good personnel. The DBs are getting older. They were very young last year, so they're a year more experienced. They have a great player in Chris Jones up front. But I think if you watch the tape, I mean, not to keep talking about Spags, but I think he's doing just about as good as he's ever done in this league, and he's been a great coordinator for a long time. They play well as a unit. They disguise things. Things look similar, so it's hard to tell what's coming, when. And he's always done that in the blitz portion of it. But I think, and this isn't just Spags, I think what a lot of teams have evolved to in the blitz game portion of the used to be you blitz, it's like live by the sword, die by the sword. You're exposed for a big play. And I think now more than ever, teams have done a good job of blitzing or making you hot, but keeping things in front of you and not giving up an explosive. And I think that these guys do a great job of doing that. And I think they make it disguised, they make everything look the same. You really have to be on your A game.
Jason, when you were deciding to come back for another year, how much of a factor was the fact that this game was on the schedule, opportunity to play your brother again?
0. Yeah. I'm only, if I want to play, I want to play. It's not gonna. The opponents don't factor in on that. I think our team, intrinsically, the fact that we still were returning a lot of players and, Jalen and a lot of those things factor in because you're motivated to have success, and winning football games is fun. But yeah, zero thought went into who we were playing.
Jason,
the
how
level of
have
insight
you,
and understanding that you had about the Chiefs,
Mm-hmm.
is it just based on a center preparing for a game, or is it because of the amount of times you get to watch them because of your brother?
Yeah, I mean, it's even when I watch any game, I'm watching it like I'm a center preparing. I think you get ingrained in that. I've talked to guys, once they get done playing, I think that changes a little bit. But I can't help but, any football game I'm watching, I'm looking at the D-line, or I'm looking at, they're mugging up a backer and they're blitzing from over here, they're doing this on third down. I'm always kind of looking for those things, and I watch the Chiefs every opportunity I get, which this year has been quite a bit. Normally, we kind of match up a little bit more, but I think with the primetime games and both of us being slotted in kind of these spots where we're either one, maybe two games happening at a time, I've been able to watch them quite a bit more this year than usual.
Jason, what's it been like kind of dealing with the celebrity and obviously, with, you being the sexiest man and
Yeah.
your brother dating Taylor Swift and
Yeah.
mom and, everything. What's that been like for you and your family?
I don't know. I think it's been a whirlwind. It's been we've kind of started last year with the podcast and everything, and it's continually built up more and more from the Super Bowl and my brother's love life and People Magazine. Shout out to People Magazine. I think it's continued to get more and more, and it's you just kind of take it one day at a time. I think you try and stay grounded with it. You try and be realistic about it, and and you just try and keep being the same person you are. Harder to go out. Went to the airport. That's difficult, more difficult now than it used to be. But outside of that, I think you just try and keep doing what you've been doing. Obviously, something's working.
Andy,
Would you be happy if you never beat your brother?
I beat him enough in his life that I think I'll still be happy. I've got a lot of them. It would be nice to get a win under the Eagles' belt. There's two teams, not just him. We haven't beat the Seahawks either. We play them later in the season. So those are two teams that I've never been fortunate enough to get a victory against. But again, as with every week, even though there's a lot of familiarity, there's a lot of personal attachment to this game on my side. I think you really focus on, what do we need to do? I think if you look at that outside noise, you're really doing yourself and your teammates a disservice. So, the same things that allow us to be successful every week are going to come down to this game, taking care of the football, being smart, executing in the red zone, things that we've improved on throughout the season. If we can continue to do those well this week, offensively, and the defense focuses on the things they need to do, I think, regardless of who we're playing, we'll be in a good position.
I know you only had 2 years with Andy, but
Yeah.
his record off the bye, everyone's talked about it. 21,
Yeah.
21-3, 31-6, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
The postseason.
Yeah.
The obvious reasons have been stated. He's very good at game planning,
Yep.
with extra time. Is
Yeah.
there something that's being missed about why he's so good with an extra week?
No, listen, Andy Reid's good, no matter how much time you give him. What's his, I don't even know what his all-time record is, percentage, but, 66 win percentage. So, it's certainly an outlier, I guess, off the bye, but I think that what it probably comes down to is he's a brilliant football mind, and he gets a little bit more time, and, whenever you get to step away from something and then you come back, there's a little bit more energy and a little bit more enthusiasm from kind of breaking it up for a little bit, and especially with the amount of time the coaches put in. They're here in season nonstop, so to step away and then also have a little bit more time to scheme things up with a guy that's as good as it gets in that regard, I think that probably factors into a higher win percentage after a bye week.
Jason, what are your thoughts on a run game that, hasn't been on track much these
Yeah.
past couple weeks?
I just, we're not really executing at the level that we have in the past. I think, we're doing some things good. I don't think it's any one player. That's one of the difficult things about the run game. Everybody's really got to be in sync and hitting blocks. And, if it's one guy here, one guy there, it only takes one guy missing a block to ruin a run play as opposed to, you can throw it up to A.J. Brown. He's going to be high percentage chance he'll come down with it. Doesn't matter what anybody else does. To really have a good run game, it's a collective effort. Offensive line, tight ends, running backs. And I think that, we're close. We've had some really good games. We've stalled out a few games, but I think that knowing the guys that we have in this building and the fact that we'll just keep working at it, that eventually it'll start clicking again.
What's the reaction in the locker room and the O-line meeting about the full magazine on?
With the sexiest man alive?
I was gonna let you say it rather.
Yeah, it feels weird. For a man to say sexiest man, I feel that. Yeah, I think most people, just a smile on their face. I mean, I think everybody's taking it a little tongue in cheek and just having fun with it. It's certainly didn't ever anticipate being up for that award. But yeah, most people have just been having fun with it.
What's the reaction to the single?
I think everybody thinks it's really good. I think, most of the people that I think are really jazzed up about it are people that are familiar with the original from the Pogues, and I think that song elicits a strong response from people that really like it, including myself. So I think the fact that, we quite honestly probably could have gone up there and, just completely butchered it. But the fact that we did the song, those people are going to be pretty fired up regardless. So, no, really, really happy that the reception has been good. Everybody's been fired up about it. And, we have such good musicians that help us out. I still remember when Nick Krill, shout out Nick, sent the final version over to me. But man, I don't know what you do behind the boards to make my voice sound at least listenable. But good job. Yeah.
That's it.